Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider in a like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. And let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from the Am I the Arsehole Here subreddit, and it says, Am I the Arsehole Here? My dad crashed my car. My parents won't let me use theirs. I, 21 male, have been living at my parents' house due to recent life events. We have a pretty good relationship, but of course we have our moments. Well, about a week ago, my mum was at work and my dad needed to run by the store. He couldn't wait until mum got back, so he asked to borrow my car. I agreed to let him have it as I didn't have anything I needed to do right then. Well, about 40 minutes later I get a call from him saying he'd been in an accident. Of course, that scared the shit out of me, and I made sure he was okay first. He said he was fine and explained the accident. Long story short, he ran a stop sign and smacked straight ahead into another vehicle. Luckily, no one got seriously injured, except my car. It's busted up pretty bad. Without going into too much detail, the bumper, headlights, hood, and parts of the engine are messed up. I got my car into the shop and I'm still waiting on the estimated time and it will take for me to get it back. Until then though, I need a car to get to and from work. And that's where the problem is. See, me and my mum have different work schedules, but similar enough to where I could see us working something out. She usually goes in an hour earlier than me and gets off about 30 minutes before me. I figured I could drop her off, go to work, then pick her up. Well, my mum hates that idea. She says that she doesn't want to have to rely on me to pick her up or get her to work on time. She said since she wasn't involved in the accident, she shouldn't be affected by the consequences. I told her it would just be until I got my car back, but she didn't care. I was expecting Dad to back me up, seeing as he's the reason I got into this mess. But instead, he just agreed with her and said I should find a different way. The problem is, there is no different way. There's no good public transportation system in our town, and we live about 45 minutes away from where I work. My dad then suggested I bike to work, which I quickly shut down. I'd rather not have to bike all the way to and from work every day, when we could literally just share a car. I told them it was unfair for them not to let me use their car since Dad crashed mine. Then they said I was just being ungrateful, as they were already putting a roof over my head and I shouldn't be expected much more from them. I have no idea where they even thought I was being ungrateful. All I'm saying is, why would I choose a harder, more time-consuming way to work when there is an easier option? Am I being unreasonable? I feel at the least Dad could convince Mum to let me use their car since it is his fault. But instead, he's just sitting there agreeing with everything she says. I would ask my siblings to chime in on this, but knowing them, they just agree with my parents. So, am I the arsehole here? That's mad, treating your child like that when your father was the cause of all of this to begin with, when you allowed him to borrow your car. Part of me wondered initially, is there some sort of like car that they lease you when your car's in the repair shop? I know my insurance has that. I guess not everyone's will do. I just find it mad that, your child, a family member who you supposedly love, from the mum's point of view, your husband has caused this issue, the father's caused this issue, and you're not going to help him out. You're not going to help your child out in a situation like this. That's just wild. Simple matter of the fact is, your dad should be fixing this, and that's it. But Optimal Side says, not the arsehole. Your dad caused the situation. He should be fixing it, bottom line. If that means letting you borrow the car, you should have priority because he is at fault for your original transportation. Old Turkey Tail says, was there a police report for the accident? And did you notify your insurance company and your father's insurance company? Some insurance policies will pay something towards a rental, and some car rental companies have lower rates for people getting their cars fixed. And what are you going to do when you get the estimate for repairs? Yeah, that's a good question. Sparkle Life Lola says, your mum is being totally unreasonable. Tell your dad he needs to pay for you to Uber or Lyft to work and back if he can't convince your mum to share their car with you. He created this problem and he needs to fix it. Telling you to ride a bike is ridiculous and unacceptable. And one more from Method Maven who says, your father is amazingly irresponsible. Your mother is unbelievably mean. Please stop contributing to bills and groceries in as much as it will cost you to take a rideshare to and from work. Your parents will of course take exception to this, but you should stand your ground. If you're in the US, read up on your state's eviction laws to ensure they can't legally kick you out. You will have to pay an insurance deductible on your car repair. Your dad needs to pay that. If he doesn't, again, take the money out of what you contribute to the household. I sincerely hope you're able to remove yourself from this toxic living situation soon. Very soon. So, OP added a separate post in the Am I the Arsehole subreddit that said, "Am I the arsehole? My parents kicked me out the house with no warning." For a little backstory, I'm 21 male. I've been living with my parents due to some recent life events. About a month ago, I made a post here talking about how my dad crashed my car, and my mum refused to let me use theirs for my commute to work. Long story short, my parents ended up paying for the expenses to have my car fixed. We did also end up sharing a car until I had mine back. After that, I thought it was done and over. My mum made a comment about it here and there, but it didn't seem to seriously bother her. Until about a week and a half ago. She demanded that I pay them all the money from my car expenses back. She said it wasn't fair she lost money due to an accident she didn't cause. I think that's fair, but I reminded her that I didn't cause it either. Dad caused the accident, and I told her I'm sorry that it ended up affecting her as well. But that didn't change the fact that my car had to be fixed, and it was my dad's responsibility. She got really mad at that and started a rant about how it was unfair and I was using them for money. And what was my dad's response to all this? He just agreed with her. I ended up just telling her what I've already said because there was honestly nothing else to say. She's been very upset with me since then, but she never mentioned any possibility of kicking me out. So imagine my surprise a couple of days ago when I came home to all my stuff being outside of the house in boxes, literally on the curb. I was honestly shocked and mad about this, and I immediately went in the house to question my parents about this. My mum said that she was tired of letting someone so ungrateful live in her house. My dad just repeated what my mum said, but in a kinder way because I guess he thought she was being harsh. I couldn't believe it. I asked her to explain how I've been ungrateful, and she responded by basically saying, "We raised you." We went back and forth for a bit, and we were both pretty mad at each other. Then my mum told me to leave the house or else she would call the police on me. I have no idea if anything actually would have came out of that situation. But at that point, I was so confused and angry that I just went outside and called around to find someone I was able to stay with. I ended up sleeping at a friend's house. It's been a couple of days now and siblings have both been calling me. I guess my parents must have told them what happened. I'm assuming it was specifically my mum bad talking me to them. My sister agrees with my mum and says I should have just paid the money back. My brother agrees that it was unfair for them to kick me out, but also says I should have just paid the money back. My dad has also been trying to reach out to me, but honestly I've just been too mad to pick up the phone for him. I'm just shocked by the whole situation. I wouldn't say me and my parents' relationship has always been easy street, but it's never been this bad. I honestly thought we were good until all this. The worst part is I was planning to move out and rent an apartment with a friend once their lease was up in 2 months. My parents knew that and still decided to do this. I'm just so confused and I don't understand where they're coming from. I get they raised me and took care of me and all that, but I just feel like that doesn't give them the right to do all this all of a sudden. I don't think I did anything wrong. So honestly, am I the arsehole in this situation? OP adds a comment below that post and says, "I probably should have said this in the post, but my siblings are older than me. My sister's in her late 20s and my brother's in his early 30s. They're already well off and out of the house. I honestly think that's another point of tension with my mum because right now, in her own words, I'm the only one of her kids that is failing at life." What? At 21 years old? Gee bloody whiz, your parents suck. But OP added an update to that post and said, "Some things have happened since my last post. I calmed down a bit and decided to finally answer one of my dad's calls. He started talking about how afraid he was that I was never going to talk to them again. Then he said that things weren't supposed to go that way the other day and apologized for my mum putting my stuff outside. Apparently the plan was to talk to me about it first, but he said mum got caught up in her emotions. When I asked why he didn't step in, he said it was because he didn't want to upset her anymore. I didn't really want to accept that excuse, but I took it so we could move forward. That was until I got another call from my brother. Mum's been absolutely shit-talking me to him and my sister. Apparently she kept comparing me to them and how good they're doing. Mind you, they're both older than me by several years. Then she went on a rant about how much harder it's been to raise me compared to them. At one point, he says she even insinuated that I was a mistake, though he says to take that with a grain of salt, as she didn't outright say it. My brother was uncomfortable with listening to her talk about me so harshly, and he decided to call and tell me. I'm feeling a mix of emotions about all this right now. Part of me is still mad about the whole suddenly kicking me out thing, but I'm mostly just sad about it all. Knowing that my mum is saying all this stuff behind my back only makes me think she really means it. And whether she outright said it or not, hearing that she thinks I'm a mistake honestly crushed my soul. I don't understand why still, but I guess she has her reasons. I don't really want to talk to her again, but I do really want to know the truth of why she feels this way about me. I'm not sure about Dad yet. I'm not the type to cut people off, and having to do it to one person is already too much for me. I'm still staying with my friend as of now until I can figure out what I'm doing. I guess I'll see how it goes from here. That is just one awful family, and I know it's so easy for me to say, especially as OP's 21. I can't imagine what the headspace is like now dealing with all this. But Mum is absolutely toxic. Dad is a coward in this situation. And the whole family in itself is just wild. None of them could admit that two, married people not paying for the damage that they've caused. And I just feel like it's one of those situations where I look at it and just say, what are these people bringing to your life apart from pain at this moment in time? And I wonder how long, if you look back, this kind of thing's been going on. Is this really just come out of nowhere? Or has Mum been sniping at you for a long time because you're not successful like your siblings? I mean, at 21 years old? You fucking kidding me? I was still walking around with my thumb up my ass. Poor dude, man. But I hope he does get himself out of that situation soon with his friend. Hopefully he can, speed up the process and move in with his friend sooner rather than later, because it can't be healthy to be around these people. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from a throwaway account from the Am I the Arsehole Here subreddit and says, wife kicked my cousins and their friends out after they pranked her. Am I the arsehole for not stopping her? Yesterday, my cousins showed up on my home with their friends unannounced. My cousins and their 7 friends said that we should all spend first together. We all cooked together, got drunk, and had more fun than ever before. I should have expected that they would April Fool's prank my wife, but I was being a dumbass. While I was drinking with other men, my wife suddenly showed up in front of me and grabbed me and asked me if I'm cheating on her. I was shocked and told her that I never cheated and I would never cheat on her. My wife asked me for my phone, and she locked herself in our bedroom and spent half an hour going through my phone. And when she came out, she said she has smacked me if she ever finds out that I'm cheating on her, and she has shown no mercy. Turns out the women pranked her and told her that I'm cheating on her as a prank. My wife is religious, and getting married to her in itself is an achievement for me. All of my cousins and their friends explained to her that it was just a prank and I'm not cheating on her, but my wife was angry at them and told them to get out of our house, and she doesn't want to listen to their explanation anymore. After they all left, my wife told me that if I ever cheat on her, she'd make sure I regret it. She said she didn't get married to me only to find me in bed with another woman. I told her that I'll never cheat on her and they were pranking you. She said she doesn't like it and doesn't want them anywhere near us. I told her that I know and they won't prank you like this ever again. And she already has access to my phone and knows my passwords, so she should calm down and not let the alcohol take control of her. But my cousins are telling me now that I shouldn't have let my wife kick them out, and I should have instead explained to her that it was just a prank. I told them that it was a shitty ass prank, and what exactly were they expecting? I told them that they are no longer allowed in my house, at least for some time. They are saying that we are both crazy and I am my wife's slave. Not really sure what they were expecting. They expect my wife to laugh. Who pranks like this even? I think there are harmless pranks and this one is stupid. Am I the arsehole? Mango says to this one, 10 people show up to your house uninvited and unannounced to eat your food, drink your alcohol, and for the also funny prank of making the host think that our entire marriage is a lie. Your cousins and their friends are rude and shitty people. Hot Mama says, yeah, 10 people randomly showing up on a Tuesday. How odd. And you just let them eat and get drunk. Whole story sounds crazy. Fuzzy Bunny says, you named it. There's shitty people who really need to evaluate their sense of humor. This wasn't funny. It was cruel. It's what happens when you marry from a family with low emotional intelligence to one who cares. You learn to push the shitty ones away, or you lose what's really good in your life. At least OP has his wife's back. Too many of these stories are about the unsupportive husband asking if he's the arsehole because the wife is angry for being unsupported. Someone properly picking sides. OP comes in with their first update and says, I tried everything I could to convince my wife to forgive my cousins and forget about it, but my wife didn't listen to me and still periodically checks my phone and keeps tabs on me. And I think she thinks that I'm cheating, even though I told her I would never cheat on her, and even my cousins are trying to tell her that it was a prank. A shit one, but still a prank. I told my wife to calm down and not to mind what my cousins said and their prank, but my wife got angry and she said she didn't marry me only to find me with other women. And repeats a bit from the previous post which said my wife is super religious, marrying her in itself is an achievement for me, and she fought hard just to marry me. I think I understand why she's so angry. I asked her what she wants me to do to calm her down. She said she doesn't like my cousins and she wants them all as far away as possible from us. I asked her if there's anything I can do to make peace between them all. She said in their religion, they aren't allowed to even talk about cheating, and she's angry because my cousins are idiots, and she will kill me by her own hands if I ever cheat on her after she went through so much just to marry me. My wife said she trusts me, but she's hurt by the prank, and she will handle it herself, and I should stay away from my cousins and this overall situation. My wife is so pissed, and I thought it'd be just okay, but my wife doesn't want me to interfere. If it was something else, my wife would listen to me, no doubt, but my cousins and their friends hit the nest, and even if I try to help them, my wife won't let me. We have another update in a moment, but Mocha says, dude, seriously, you're still the arsehole. Side with your wife. Cut contact with them until they make a serious apology. You aren't helping your wife's insecurity or your case by taking their side and having a flippant attitude. Stony Owl says, oh, but he just wants her to calm down. This guy is an arsehole and a moron. Not your effing problem, says. Yeah, I'm really failing to see how he is not more upset. My cousins tried to destroy my marriage. What a funny prank. Ha ha ha. Don't get it. So OP comes in with another update and says, TLDR, my idiot cousins April Fool pranked my wife about me cheating on her. And they went so hard on my wife that even if I try to defend them, I'm at risk of losing my wife. I'm really tired of my wife periodically checking my phone, and I think that my wife is suspicious of me, but at the same time, I think I'm wrong for not kicking my cousins out and listening to my wife. The reason why I was so tolerant and forgiving because I love my cousins, and deep down I thought they were just April's fooling my wife, and I thought my wife would get over it. I asked my wife, what does she want me to do? She said she already told me. I asked her to make it clear to me once again without getting angry, and I will do whatever she wants. My wife says that she's deeply hurt by what my cousins said, and she doesn't want them anywhere near us anymore, and I should stay away from them as far as I can away from my cousins. I told her that I'm cutting my cousins off, and I won't talk to them at all no matter what, unless she forgives them. She cried and screamed at me, and she once again said that she didn't marry me only to be told that her husband is in bed with another woman. I told her that I love her, and I didn't want to hurt her. I comforted her as best as I could, and told her that she'd never see me with or anywhere near my cousins ever again unless she approves of it. I think I managed to calm my wife down, and if I have to cut my cousins off to keep my life partner in my life, then I'll do what's necessary. I think I should have done that long ago. And yes, I agree, I should have listened to her instead of convincing her. My wife is religious and extremely dedicated to me. I was being an ass, and I will change that no matter what. Melina Crazy says, honestly, you should have cut off your cousins the moment the prank happened. No joke is worth risking your marriage, and your wife's trust was shattered by their cruel actions, making it vital that you show her she comes first. Sweet Interview says no, instead he defended them, and no matter what people on here said, he refused to listen and kept doubling down that she will get over it and they did no wrong. He completely ignored they tried to destroy his marriage and kept saying, but it's an April Fool's, even though it had been days of their relationship in tatters. This guy's an idiot, and I honestly don't know why the wife's still with him. Right at the start, she told him her rule for staying with him was cutting them off. He still defended them and acted like she hadn't already told him. He still insisted to everyone she would get over it. Yeah, right, he treated her worse than they did. He's damn lucky 8 days later when he asked her to state her conditions once again, like she hadn't already made it clear that she hadn't walked before that. Maybe he hoped she would say something different this time, as it was clear he was happy for them to fuck her over, and only when he realized it would affect his life and divorce is expensive, has suddenly he backed down. Just remember, it took 8 days of defending them and ignoring everyone calling him out on his original post. Him still saying it will blow over and not caring how they or he treated her. She found a real peach here. Who needs enemies when this is your husband? Swordrat says she's told him repeatedly what she wants. In his first post, in his last update, and again in this one. Dude just doesn't get it. In 6 months, he'll post another one. 6 months ago, my cousins pranked my wife, saying I was cheating on her. She wanted me to cut them out of our lives, but I've been hanging out with them behind her back, and she found out. She served me with divorce papers and moved out. What can I do to get her back? You're gonna have to let me know how you feel about this one, because I came out of this one just feeling like that was rough. Don't get me wrong, the cousins were absolutely wrong, and talking about this being a prank is absolute bullshit. Lying about cheating is relationship damaging stuff, and I absolutely agree that they should be kicked out, no contact or low contact, reassuring your wife. But at the same time, and the husband was absolutely wrong for trying to convince her otherwise, but if I'm being completely honest, wife rubbed me the wrong way in this one, in this as well. All the threats, the controlling behavior, wanted to take the phone off him, that she'll smack you, kill you by her own hands. Yes, they may be emotional outbursts, but imagine, like right now, standing face to face with your partner or with a loved one, and them saying to your face, they're going to smack you, they're going to kill you by their own hands if you do something. And there's context behind it, etc. That OP was explaining what happened with the cousins, the prank. There's some religion stuff going on as well. There's something about them being married and how hard it was to marry each other, etc., etc. But it still doesn't excuse controlling behavior like that. It was just a whole lot of oof for me. But what do you guys make of this situation? Did you pick up on that as well? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support. Your support is just amazing. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.